Good evening to all of you. Welcome to Smilling Coast. I am Ibrahim Abalde. We are at the Kairaba Beach Hotel to witness a conference organized by the Ministry of Tourism in collaboration with the Gambia Tourism Board. This is called the National Tourism and Culture Conference. It is very important for us to come together and look at the things that are affecting the tourism sector and address them. On this conference, we are expecting a lot of officials, high-ranking officials from the Ministry of Tourism and the Gambia Tourism Board as well. It will be very, very interactive as participants will be given the floor to ask questions and then will be responded by the officials of the Gambia Tourism Board and the Ministry of Tourism. Tourism is one of the sector that provides income for the country. It is very important for us to look at the way forward of tourism in the Gambia, like any other country that is working on tourism. Tourism, when it boosts, it will help the country to realize income and of course employment as well, which is a big menace for each and every person in the Gambia, that is employment, especially the youth. So today we will attend this conference to take a look at some of the important things that are to be discussed on this conference. We are at Kairaba Beach Hotel to witness this conference. Stay tuned.
As you all know, with the advent of the new dispensation, the government of His Excellency President Adam Barrow acknowledged the significant role of tourism and culture as one of the fundamental pillars of the National Development Plan, thereby signifying its substantial contribution to the socio-economic development of our country's economic progress. Tourism and culture now will constitute a vital instrument to wealth creation, while at the same time providing jobs in support of women, youth, and other marginalized groups of our society.
Honorable Minister of Tourism, I want to inform you that by their nature, information, media, and ICTs in general are important value services that enhance the overall development of tourism and tourism-related products. All throughout the world, countries are embracing digital tourism to break barriers, boost arrivals, especially among young first-time visitors and high-end spenders, and maintain dominance in the market. In a sector where more and more travelers now prefer to do a one-stop shop on their travel choice on the internet, it is important that Gambia gets it right and accelerate its presence on the net big time. This is where the high-spending tourists are, and it is in the internet that is the first point of visit for many travel enthusiasts about a destination. Holiday makers are now too busy to visit travel agencies to make direct face-to-face arrangements for their holiday and business trips. Rather, people want to transact their travel arrangements from the comfort of their homes and their offices. There is need, therefore, for the Gambia Tourism Board to maintain a highly interactive web portal that captures the generic beauty and issue specificities of the country. The strategic objective here should be to capture a traveler's attention of the wow attractions of the Gambia. Equally, as we roll out the National Broadband Network, the NBN, transporters in the hospitality industry should become more and more innovative to have Wi-Fi connectivity in their coaches and minivans to get their customers connected all throughout the journey and other places that they want to visit.
I felt honored and delighted to be invited to speak on this occasion as a key stakeholder in the tourism industry. Tourism continues to play a significant role in the service sectors and remaining leading foreign exchange earner in the economy. The strategic importance of tourism cannot be overemphasized, and government is giving it special attention to boost foreign exchange earning and also boost employment. The growth of the sector would require continuous innovations such as the increase of e-marketing, strong promotional campaigns, and diversification of the tourism product in the medium and long term. It would also require constant dialogue with stakeholders in the industry, as well as frequent assessment of sector performances, especially in the area of services in different ways. Therefore, it is very important as we speak that the performance of tourism is progressing season by season. Tourism as relates to my ministry, as I said, trade. When it comes to trade, tourism is a major contributor or a major provider of employment. Apart from agriculture, I think tourism is the biggest employer. Tourism offers a lot of opportunity for the businessmen and women who deal in basic essential commodities. When you come to the horticulture sector, for example, you find our women in the gardens, most of their produce is bought by the tourism industry, hotels, restaurants, and other, key stakeholders in the tourism industry.
Our department will support you in 7 different ways. The first, working with you, we will develop and review national tourism priorities, policies and programs. And second, we will develop and review the national tourism blueprint in order to make it more current and more relevant. And third, we will support you to coordinate the development and set national goals, targets, and indicators for sustainable tourism development. And fourth, we will facilitate the coordination of the mainstreaming of tourism issues in sectoral policies and strategies. And fifth, we will support you in monitoring and evaluating the effectiveness of the implementation of national tourism policies and strategies and programs. And sixth, the department will find a synergy, working with your sector to monitor and evaluate the implementation of tourism legislation, notably the Duty Board Act and Government Tourism Regulation. And seventh, we will support you in setting up benchmarks for quality performance and delivery in all aspects of the industry. But when I say the Gambia deserves only the best, Honorable Minister, I mean, we must transition. And I'm not demeaning or devaluing the importance. Backpack tourism. Because really what we need, the Gambia must attract quality tourists that also spend. And I read a recent survey that indicated that only tourists from Britain and Holland spend more money, about $1,000 or so. And this all-inclusive tourism need to be looked at, because the bulk of the money stays outside, and we get a little part of it.
As early as the 1960s, former President Jawara understood the role and power of culture and tourism in diplomacy, in crafting the foreign policy of the Gambia. Based on the same principles, our foreign policy of today is crafted to entrench a culture of proactive diplomacy that protects the national interests of the Gambia and her citizens. It promotes sustainable peace and security at national, regional, and international level, and mobilizes resources for the economic development of the country. Additionally, it seeks to secure the welfare of all Gambians. This national conference is important for various reasons. First, it comes at an opportune time when the Gambia is gradually regaining her rightful position in the Committee of Nations. Since coming to power, His Excellency President Adama Barrow has pursued a policy of friendship and peaceful cooperation with other nations and upholds strong partnership with regional and international bodies. We can say that the cornerstone of this diplomacy, and we can use the slogan of Bangladesh, friendship with all and malice to none. Secondly, the conference underscores the importance that tourism and culture plays in our economy. As you all know, the Gambia relies primarily on tourism, agriculture, and remittances. According to World Bank figures, real gross domestic product growth was estimated at 6.6% in 2018 from 4.6% in 2017. This growth is driven in no small measure by a strong recovery in the tourism sector. There was a record increase of tourist arrival by 26% in 2018 compared to 2017. And I would like to seize this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Ahmad Nkeba and his able team for the award given to them in Germany, and the Gambia was cited as the best travel destination.
Minister for Tourism and Culture, a round of applause.
Colleagues, I personally appreciate your coming, and I thank you so much for it. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, representatives of foreign missions, members of the diplomatic corps, our great leader, the Imam of Banjul, who also made it this morning with all the challenges. He was able, when it was tourism and culture, he said, I must come and grace the occasion and pray for the gathering. Imam, we thank you so much. Mr. Bishop, representative of the Bishop, we thank you also. This country needs all of us together. As others have been divided based on religious values, we should be united based on our differences. Our differences should be our strength and not our weaknesses. The fact that Gambians embrace Christianity and Muslims, it shows we are a country that the foreign minister was just describing, a unique nation in a difficult situation in a region which is polluted, destroyed by fundamentalism. We pray to Allah that let this country be safe from that. We thank our leaders who are praying every day, every evening, every night for this country. Ladies and gentlemen, globally, the United Nations World Tourism Organization estimates that international tourist arrivals, that is overnight visitors, increased by 6% to 1.4 billion in 2018, clearly above the 3.7 growth registered in global economy. In relative terms, the Middle East had a 10% increase, and Africa 7%, and Europe and the Pacific got 6% increase in 2018. Specifically for the Gambia, many notable achievements can be highlighted. Arrival statistics show that from 2017-2018 season, there was a record-breaking increase of 28% of visitors, from the highest ever in the history of this country, which was around 2012, 162,075 tourists. That was the highest ever in the history. That was about 2012. The Gambia recorded at the end of 2018, 209,000 visitors. The first quarter of 2019 consolidated this positive trend, with arrivals registering a remarkable increase of 97%. That's the first quarter. We hope that by the end of the year, we would again break the record. We have now Gambians as destination managers in crucial market segment, a shift away from the costly and ineffective practice of hiring foreign marketing agents. Let me just expound on this point. When we took over, we realized as a government we were paying almost 20-something thousand pounds a month to foreign agents who will just sit in their office and make one statement on our behalf, and we are paying them that taxpayers' money a month. The question was, why are you paying this money? Said, it's a policy, we want to promote the Gambia. As a government, we felt at the level of cabinet, who can promote the Gambia better than Gambians? We immediately went into action. We scrapped all these contracts. We recruited Gambians to take over these responsibilities. You cannot tell me about Janjambure, Birkama, you somebody sitting in London more than I do. We had an argument. We said, wait a minute. Let me recount you stories what this gentleman have done for us that make it possible for us to be here. The day this impasse happened, he was the first Gambian at the UN to stand up firm to say that they must support the elected government. He stood firm. He did everything possible to make sure that Jammeh was not going to stay. With all the promises Jammeh made to him, he defied and said, Jammeh must go. And he gave me positive stories about this gentleman. And today, UN have recognized him positively for that peaceful diplomatic achievement he made, having one of the most outstanding awards in the UN system. Mr. Minister, I must confess, after 2 months of interaction, I went back to my principal. I said, I think we made the right decision. The man can do it. Because I see in the man, he likes what he's doing. He loves his job. You know, when somebody loves what he's doing and is able to do it, you must praise him. He will succeed. And Mr. Minister, we are proud of you as our chief diplomat. What we want, to be honest, is to make sure your diplomats do what other diplomats are doing. It is not any more political diplomacy in this world. We are in a world of economic diplomacy. To spread the benefit of tourism to all parts of the country, determined efforts are being made to roll out community projects in all the 5 regions of the country through building ecologies. This is contributing to diversifying tourism products and addressing the needs of a more demanding visitor, as well as boosting youth employment. This is part of a larger effort to develop new tourism products, which will include culture and heritage tourism, wellness tourism and sports tourism, as well as exploiting the huge potential of the Great Gambia River. Finally, we have taken steps to enhance our quality assurance through a new hotel classification and standard document. Up-country tourism facilities have been assessed and some renovation works are being carried out in most parts of the country. The special advisor to the president, who is also dealing with the Strategic Policy Analysis Unit, Minister Fati, talks about the issue of accommodation of country. I met a couple of ambassadors who said to me, when we travel to your up-country, we have nowhere to stay, a decent place to stay. And we witness it ourselves. When we travel, we find it difficult to have hotels to stay. And that's why we are now encouraging Gambians to build 3 two-star hotels up-country. It's rather unfortunate. Gambians are never tourists in their own country. They don't go with their children and family to be a tourist for a weekend because the facilities are not there. The ones that are there are overpriced with very little facilities. They cannot. And it is sad that you are a Gambian. You cannot take your kids on a weekend to go and have a retreat with your family. We have looked at this. And that's why the GT board is now working to partner with other private sector players to build 5 ecologies. But we want to encourage Gambians to build this type of hotels up country so that in our own country we can rediscover our Gambia. We have to change for this country to move. Nobody will do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. And our commitment to national duty should never waver. We should be able to move our country ourselves. We have the opportunity, we have the atmosphere. Nobody is harassed, nobody is intimidated. And every effort has been made for the first time, nowhere in the world, that civil servants achieve 50% salary increase overnight. Only in the Gambia that Adama Barrow was able to do that. And we are not stopping there. We are moving to make sure our civil servants have the best and become the best in the sub-region. Therefore, this civil servant also must reciprocate that gesture to make sure they give more and work extra for the country. I declare this conference of National Tourism and Culture officially open. Thank you so much.
As an investor, is the cleanliness of the country. If you drive from the airport to the tourism development area, it is not only within the tourism development area, because the first things tourists see is the areas of Sinchu, moving towards between Sinchu and Turntable.
Good afternoon, Madam P.S. My name is Landing El Sidibe. I'm representing the Ministry of Youth and Sports. There are 2 points that I want to make. That is the issue of slavery. Because when we talk about slavery, we are not into old. It is a form of revitalizing of roots and culture. He mentioned that the ministry is trying to see how best they can gain information. The way slavery transpired in the Gambia, starting from Jufre, how come up to date? Because slavery happened a long time ago. Up to this present, how come we don't have enough information about how slavery transferred?
With regards to cleanness, Marley, you are right. I raised this in somewhere you were not. One of the most disgusting things is coming from Taf. You see trucks now. It's all garage, trucks, broken, derelict vehicle, all over. Dump site, all over you see. When I raised it, I said we must act. They said, okay, we're all going to act, but you know we are coming to start the dual carriage. Everybody will be moved. I hope in the next 3 months, there will be no truck around that area, because we are going to start the construction of the dual carriage, and we make sure that this road is beautified with palm trees. It becomes the beauty of our country.
Welcome back. As I mentioned before the beginning of the conference, I told you it will be very, very interesting out there. Well, viewers, this is all we have for you in this edition of the Smiling Coast here on QTV. Do join us next week for another episode. Have a wonderful evening.